which is the movie My Oni Girl, and this honestly, which was sort of like a cute surprise because I didn't know what to expect about it, and this is a movie directed by Shibayama, which some might recognize as the director for A Wish Goes Away. I don't recall if we reviewed it here on this channel. I know that I reviewed it for the Wobam when that channel was up and running.
Yeah.
And he has he has also worked as an art director for the likes of The Girl Who Left from Time and one of my favorite anime movies, Spirited Away, actually. So
Yeah, he comes from the Miyazaki tree in
yeah,
sports terms, right? The coaching tree,
yeah.
where it's like working at Ghibli automatically is like, okay, I'm interested to see what you make once you step out of
Yeah,
that box, you know?
but so he has some form of I should put it experience if you have worked on that movie. I
Right.
argue, but anyway, Mike, what's your thoughts about it? Or
I have not seen this movie.
okay,
I am here for the conversation about the movie.
okay,
So this is a film. Like, I mean, you know, working for Collider, I've edited articles on it, so like I have a general idea, but I haven't seen it myself. So I want to hear your guys' perspective on it, mainly because this went very under the radar. Where like Netflix didn't really tweet about it. They didn't have any like anything on. Like they have an anime account and they don't
yeah.
share anything about this movie on there. And so I want to really hear your guys' opinions on the quality of it, the plot, all that stuff, because is this going to be a hidden gem for Netflix, or were they just like throwing it away because they knew it wasn't going to take off?
Honest for me, did you can start start
Yeah,
about
okay.
your thoughts.
So this one, yeah, like you said, it flew completely under the radar. I didn't see anything from Netflix about it. Even when I logged in, like they're usually really good about showing, like obviously I watch a lot of anime on Netflix, so they're really good about showing me these are all the new things that came out recently that you're probably interested in. And for some reason, this just was nowhere to be seen. I had to actually go search for it. And I
That's
kind of
bad.
that's really bad.
That's really bad.
Because your algorithm should be trained to be like, hey, new Netflix original anime thing, homepage.
Right.
Apparently, they did a short mention on it on the Netflix anime on April 30th.
Really?
That's about it.
I don't remember seeing
That's so long ago from release, though.
That is also true. But either way, I feel like they're doing this movie a disservice. Now, I told both of you guys already that I definitely fell asleep. I had to rewatch a part of it this morning, but that's just because I was super tired. It's a good coming to age story, and that's definitely what this movie is. And I guess to that point, I could see where it could be very much a hit or miss. I don't know how much people are still in the come to age movie like era. I feel like that was very much a early 2000s, late 90s type of thing. You don't really get too many of those coming of age movies anymore, I feel like. So I could see them thinking, well, this isn't really our wheelhouse too much anymore, which it's weird because I feel like Stranger Things is definitely that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like,
I mean, Suzume and the boy in the hair are kind of like that too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I'd lean into, especially from director of Studio Ghibli fame, right?
Yeah.
Like put that on a poster.
yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I could think that they wouldn't have done it. But like you said, yeah, it fits. All of those things would have been selling points. And again, watching it, I thought it was pretty good. I can't say it was like the greatest thing that he's probably done. I mean, Spirit, it's going to be tough to ever say something's better than Spirited Away. So, you know,
Yeah.
but I was thoroughly enjoying it throughout the entire runtime. I personally do still like a really good coming of age story, but I also love that it had like a fantastical element to it. So like seeing the whole thing of him, he's very much like at the beginning, like very steadfast. Like I follow all the rules to I'm eventually becoming like I'm going to make my own person. I'm going to be my own. I can't necessarily say man, obviously still a teenager, but I'm going to be my own man. And it's always fun to watch. So like I had a good time with it. This definitely didn't turn me off to seeing whatever his next film was going to be. That's always how I try to take the mark of, okay, how good was this story? Am I going to see the director the next time and go, what you did for me lately wasn't great?
That's such an interesting gauge. I respect it.
Well, because obviously trailers go a long way, but as somebody who's edited videos, I know how easy it is to say, well, this whole isn't great, but I can sell it to you. So that kind of takes a little bit of the luster away from trailers for me, because I get scared and go, well, did you just show me all the best parts there? Now, granted, for this, I didn't even see a trailer. This was just, I dove in just straight off the, hey, you want to watch this? So
that's interesting. So the blind watch is always my favorite, of like not knowing what it is and just going for it.
I'm gonna be honest, it threw me for a loop. I know it was called My Oni Girl, and the cover looks very, very like slice of life ish.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Oni, this is gonna have a little bit more. This is gonna be a little bit darker, and I didn't get any darkness, so it was a fun time.
My only theory about this being, as how should I put it, badly promoted for Netflix, is maybe the Whiskers Away didn't do that good on their platform when that movie came out, but but I do remember it when I saw that movie on Netflix too. I can't recall any promotional material for that movie either, so it just, and I have to say, have to agree with Didge. Is this the next Suzume or Your Name? No, it's not. And but it's good enough to say that it is worth the watch at least one time. And it's a shame that it has flown under the radar for so many people. That's one of the major reasons why I actually suggested it, because, well, I do like covering stuff that goes under the radar.
Right.
And I have to say, it sort of borrows elements to an extent of Weathering with You, I would argue, because this is sort of like a coming of age story where they are kind of trying to find something in trying to realize that they are missing something, and not just being kids, if that makes any sense. And I have to admit that I don't know if I would call it relationship, interaction between the two leads, which the name Higari and Sumugi, I hope I pronounced those names right.
That's why I held off from it, because I knew I was going to butcher
Hiragi
it.
and Sumugi, I do think it's right, but
looking at it written, that's how I would assume, so I think you're in the clear.
Yeah. But it's sort of like, if you want, this is a perfect example of a movie that do you want just some lighthearted, to some extent, road trip, coming of age story. This is a perfect choice for a good night, good movie night, or something along those lines. And
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but And it's just such a shame that Netflix did jack shit to promote this. Honestly,
So I'm scrolling through the Netflix anime Twitter, right? They did tweet about this movie on May 24th, saying it's now on Netflix. They posted like a teaser trailer for it. But it's just been flooded with Baki and The Way of the Lone
oh,
Wolf.
I missed
And
that then.
no, but I'm saying like they post about it once and it's just getting buried. They even post about One Piece and Susan May, and I wonder if getting the rights for Susan May was the nail in the coffin of this movie, right? Because from
Probably.
the way you guys are describing it about it being this coming of age adventure, that's everything Susan May is, and Susan May is an award winning anime, you know.
That's the other thing that I'm so confused because I just rewatched Suzume, and it's like I watch all of this stuff on my computer, so it's like my cookies is all through here. You're seeing that okay, this is something that this kid likes, like
Right.
So I don't get why it just didn't get recommended for me. Netflix does some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same streaming service that you apparently can just fix on your profile. Oh, I want to have that language on my profile, and boom, you get a totally different regional access to your what you're able to watch. So,
I mean, you breaking it down like that, yeah, that is kind of silly. That makes no sense. It's like,
you
wait a
don't
minute.
even need a VPN for that.
It's like, wait, I change it to French and I get France's Netflix? That doesn't make any sense.
That is fair. You know what? I didn't think about that.
Oh, man. From what I've seen about this movie, though, it does look interesting, especially hearing you guys' spoiler-free thoughts on it so far. It looking at some of the promotional stills and the teaser, does it have like that summer vacation vibe to it? Because it says that that the story is like taking place over a wintry summer. So like, what kind of feeling does it kind of give you, Isaac, when you're watching it?
The snowy part is honestly a spoiler, I dare argue.
Oh, it's front and center in the synopsis I'm reading right here on their website. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but if I would go into detail about the snow, it's arguably a spoiler. I don't know what Didge thinks about it.
Yes and no. There's a distinct. I feel like without going into spoiler territory, you can. There's a reason why they said it that way, and it's because the code definitely comes to them and very quickly at that. So it does have the it is supposed to be summer vacation. It looks you could tell in the drawing like the way that the art is that it's supposed to be bright, flowery. Like this is everything from the story to the art direction to honestly the cover, like the poster is definitely supposed to show you like this warm, lighthearted feel. And
it looks like a Ghibli movie, strangely enough.
Yeah. And you can tell that's even through the plot, like all of that is very purposeful. But I feel like the snow, whether they're using it as an allegory for growing or just coming into yourself, it comes to disrupt very quickly, and it disrupts the characters' lives a lot. And that is
an
something
understatement.
Anything beyond that, you're going to start spoiling. That's all you got to kind of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
I hear you.
But on to some extent, I would say it's what's the director of Suzumi's name again?
Makoto Shinkai?
This is a Shinkai movie on a smaller scale. I dare argue with how the story is structured. Would you say that, Dej?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it deserves to be in the same conversation as those types of movies. I do think that they're grander, a little bigger. This would for sure be like a little brother to something like that.
That's fascinating hearing you guys say that because is this the director's first movie? Because if it is, like
No,
okay.
it's not. The Whiskers Away was something he directed.
Oh, he
first.
directed Whiskers Away. Okay.
And I think
The,
Drifting Home
Yeah.
too.
let me double check when I'm on IMDb.
Co-director of Whiskers Away. So yeah.
Okay.
But excuse me. I'm just interested to see the career path then because I mean, not everybody's gonna be Shinkai and Miyazaki, where it's like your entire filmography is nothing but bangers, 9s out of 10s, Oscar-winning movies, right? But like seeing that style evolve a bit more on like movie 3 or 4, I think is going to be really fascinating. And hopefully, this does well enough where Netflix is like, yeah, we're going to give you another one and a slightly bigger budget too,
Yeah, that would be really
Yeah.
cool because I think this was for sure enough that you want to see where they're going to go next.
I just double checked, and before Whiskers Away, he had only directed some episodes for animes. One of them being Your Lie in April, and what's that? I don't even know how to pronounce that thing, so I'm not even going to attempt to say that.
We will leave it at Your Lie in April. I think that's enough credit right there.
Yeah. And apparently he did an episode of Silver Spoon, which a farmer show, but yeah, he had only directed a few episodes of 3 shows, and then Whiskers Away was his their directorial debut movie-wise, which is also a movie I would recommend, honestly, which is also kind of a coming-of-age movie, ironically, and also very Ghibli-esque.
Yeah, they're like coming of age stories are some of my favorites. I mean, that's why I love shonen manga and shonen anime because those are all essentially coming of age stories. So like that's very at home in anime that type of narrative and genre. So it's always good to see a good one. I know we covered what was it, Bubble, like a year or two ago, Isaac, where it's like that one was kind of rough. But this one sounds like it's way better.
Wasn't it basically me versus you and Brandon because I was the only one that liked it?
It was the very first time I've ever been a hater on this podcast. If I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't think we've ever covered anything I did not like on Otaku, strangely enough. That was it. I'm like, no.
Oh man, let me
So
take
I was
that off my
remembering
list.
correct. So remember right? It was that one that was me versus you and Brandon because I distinctly remember that Brandon didn't like Bubble either.
Yeah, that checks out. Brandon and I like a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate the heads up. I'm gonna take that off my list. I'll watch it eventually now.
You said I'd get there one day.
Yo,
Netflix released 2 different projects called Bubble that year. That's the funny thing. And they both were like 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
words bubble up like soda pop was terrible. That one was just. I regretted watching that.
Yeah, I didn't hear good things about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god, I pulled up the art. This is interesting for words bubble up like soda pop.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great all around.
Huh. The more you know.
It's not great.
But yeah, Dage, do you have anything more for the movie?
No, honestly, I was taking a look online just before the stream just to see what was the general consensus, and it looked like it was very hit or miss for a lot of people. So I would say the same thing I always say anytime I watch anything, watch it for yourself. Don't listen to what the reviewers say. Hell, you don't even have to listen to what we say. Just check it out.
Nope. Listen to what we say. Like, subscribe. Make sure you don't miss anything.
You could do all that, but
Exactly.
still watching. Watch for yourself. Don't take our words. I know I just said I'm not going to watch Bubble because of what Mike said, but be a better person than I am because I'm not watching it now. So,
and I tell you, don't be a better person than Didge. Go listen to that podcast and see why you shouldn't watch that dumb movie.
That's fair. You know what? Do that.
I still enjoy it.
And then go watch it for yourself.
Yeah, I liked it, you know?
Listen to our words and then go, I want to see if they're right or wrong. That's what I should have said.
I kid. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's always in good fun. But, yeah, I'm in a sort of similar boat as you. I can understand if you... but, like I said, I feel like this is just it deserves one watch at least, and
yeah,
if it doesn't click, I can understand that, but it's Netflix. I definitely feel like they are doing this one dirty, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway is like, I Netflix. I know you get something almost every day, but you are doing a disservice to certain things with the way that you market stuff, and I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
So
I'm not trying to like take over this show with like topics from the chatter after, but like this is one thing that was in the news recently of like the head of Netflix saying Barbie and Oppenheimer would have done just as well, if not better, if it was a Netflix original, and it's just like I don't think so because look at what happens.
Yeah.
Look at if this movie was a theatrical release. And the trailer played before... What was the last anime movie that came out? If it played before Boy and the Heron, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, this is a new anime movie coming out next spring. I guarantee you more people would have seen it. You know?
I agree.
And so, like, sometimes you have things blow up like Bridgerton. Bridgerton is the most watched show in the world right now.
Right.
But those are the outliers, right? Those are... You can name the Netflix hits on both hands and pretty much be done, right? Stranger Things, Wednesday, Bridgerton, and then you start struggling, right? More often than not, movies or shows end up like this, where it's like a select few find out about it and they watch it, and hopefully word of mouth makes it blow up. But more often than not, no matter how good it is, this could have been a 10 out of 10. But if Netflix didn't put the effort into marketing it as such, it's just gonna get buried. Like the fact that Didge's algorithm didn't recommend it is mind-boggling to me because that's you're the one person, like that's the person you should be trying to reach.
Yeah,
you know.
I was lucky then that they suggested it, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't have checked it out because I would have never known it existed. I don't go on Netflix and go, okay, let me go to the anime section and check it out. Like I've watched enough on there that it's usually pretty good about recommending stuff to me, so I never feel the need to. I go to other sites to do stuff like that. So yeah, it's very interesting. They'll sure recommend Young Sheldon to me. I don't know how.
I'm scrolling in my top picks because I haven't opened Netflix in like 2 months. My top picks: Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Naruto, Young Sheldon for some reason, like Dish was just saying. Madam Web because they're being funny. One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Avatar: Last Airbender. You know Hakusho's on Netflix?
Yep. I think that's a recent development.
Wow. Black Clover, Blood of Zeus, Dr. Stone, JoJo's, Death Note, Delicious in Dungeon, Mob, Haiku. You see how many anime before the new movie, by the way, is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on like page 3 and it's still not here, which is shocking.
For me, apparently the first top pick is the new show Baby Reindeer, and I'm just in 3.
That show is great though.
Is it that popped up on mine too?
Baby Reindeer's great. Isaac, don't watch it. You don't want to watch it, but it is a good show.
I take your word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, since we don't really have much more to say about the movie,
do better, Netflix.
Do better, Netflix. Mike, where can people find you?
You can find me at No It's Cinephile, everywhere on TikTok, on X, on YouTube. You can also find me at The Novice Cinephile on Threads and Instagram. Had a bunch of fun shorts go up, and TikToks and Reels. They're talking with the directors of X-Men 97. They're controversial opinions on some X-Men lore, which I think is fascinating. You can also find me at the chatter after whenever we do episodes. I know things are very slow over there, but we just did a stream. Did you know I just came from reacting to the state of play? Astrobot, baby. I'm hyped. Can't wait. You can also find my writings over at collider.com. I just interviewed Kyohei Kwan for Loki, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. He also has a new action movie where he's playing an action star. He finally revealed some information about that. So that's really cool.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be great. So yeah, Novice Cinephile everywhere. Collider.com. Bet.
Bitch.
You can find me at dig_DEE everywhere. Like Mike said, we just got through doing some gaming stuff over there on the Chatter After channel. That also was co-streamed to my personal channel, where you can find me doing more gaming stuff. All gaming stuff, especially these next couple of weeks with Summer Games Fest popping off. There are so many streams. There are so many new games coming out, new demos and stuff, and I making it my mission to try as many as I can. I was gonna say try them all, but that's a lie. I won't have enough time to try them all.
We are so back. It was such a boring year in gaming last year.
Right. So we will try as many as I can, and I'll definitely come and take a look.
Yeah, and well, you can find me over here at the Amateur Otaku, and hopefully I have something else started off soon enough on the internet that I might hopefully be able to announce. And you can find me at Emblemaniac on Twitter, and you can find the pod at the Amateur Otaku Pod on Twitter. No, I'm never gonna call it X, but and then you can find me over at I barely use Instagram, so it's pretty pointless. I'm on Threads at least. But
before you sign off, Isaac, I gotta push my agenda. We have to start calling it X now. The house of the Twitter that we once knew was gone, man. We gotta let it go.
Okay,
every other search result is not safe for work. No matter what you click on, every ad is for OnlyFans. Like, the Twitter that I once knew is gone. I'm not defouling its memory by calling this monstrosity Twitter.
That's fair. That's fair. You know,
it's funny because the only ads I get is fucking cryptocurrency for some godforsaken reason. But I digress.
I wish it.
I would live with cryptocurrency.
I would for sure live with crypto.
Yeah, but anyway, have it awesome, y'all. Please like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, have it
it's
awesome,
still a bell,
y'all.
right? Yeah.
It's a bell, I think. I don't know.